Previously, Hugh Jackman said he was done with the role of Wolverine after 2017's Logan, which honestly felt like a good send off for the character, but he decided to come back into the role with Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was something that people liked, but it wasn't clear whether or not he's back to continue doing this or if that was just a one-off thing. There's been rumors going around, but according to these latest ones from some supposed insiders, Hugh Jackman is actually set for a 10-year deal with Marvel to continue playing the character of Wolverine. Marvel rumors suggest Hugh Jackman will stay as Wolverine in the MCU for another 10 years, years long rumors confirmed. And this is coming from that Park Place. Rumors are currently swirling that Hugh Jackman will stay on as Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for another decade. However, this is a rumor that WDW Pro and that Park Place have been reporting for almost 3 years. And I could see why Marvel would definitely want to keep Hugh Jackman around after seeing the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. Of course, they're going to think that, oh, he's just kind of like a magic ticket for them. Obviously, the movie was successful. I enjoyed it. But I think there's a lot of factors that go into why Deadpool and Wolverine was so successful. And I don't think it was simply having Hugh Jackman in the role did it for them. But that's, I think, the route they're going to go down. So I can see Marvel wanting to keep him around as long as possible if they think it's still profitable for them. Hugh Jackman return as Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine sent shockwaves through Hollywood, proving once again that some roles are just too iconic to retire. The film, Marvel Studios' first R-rated blockbuster, shattered expectations by grossing over $1.3 billion at the global box office. While Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool deserves credit, it was Jackman's take on the beloved X-Men that truly ignited fan interest. Now rumors suggest that Jackman may wield Logan's claws for another decade, and fans are buzzing. Insider My Time to Shine H recently reported that the Australian actor isn't ready to hang up his adamantium claws anytime soon. The scooper claims Jackman has plans to continue as Wolverine for at least 10 more years, a timeline that could cement him as the longest tenured superhero actor in Hollywood history. I believe he is currently the longest tenured superhero actor in Hollywood history, but maybe if he did it for another 10 years, they're just suggesting that there's no way anyone would beat him at that point unless, I don't know, actually, maybe not, because I guess Wesley Snipes would hold that title now, even though he hasn't done as many movies in it. I mean, he started off with Blade earlier before the first X-Men movie, and then he was also in Deadpool and Wolverine. So maybe Wesley Snipes has that title now, technically. So I guess if he did do it, he would hold on that title again, but still, this is just a matter of whether or not Hugh Jackman, I think, wants to do it. And according to this insider, he's still game for the role, even though he previously was retired from it. I guess he sees potential in continuing on with the current MCU. Interestingly, the rumor of Jackman's multi-year deal with Marvel is not new. Hollywood scooper WDW Pro of that Park Place have been citing inside Hollywood sources as far back as 2022, claiming that Jackman had committed to a major role in the MCU's future, and that role turned out to be Deadpool and Wolverine. All of this aligns with reports that Marvel Studios is exploring a Deadpool and Wolverine trilogy following the first film's record-breaking success. And this is, I think, is Marvel's doing, because they're like, okay, Deadpool and Wolverine team up, highly successful. Let's do more of that. And I honestly don't blame them. When you look at the box office results of some of their later movies, I can see why they would just want to double and triple down on what works. But again, I don't think it was necessarily the fact that Hugh Jackman was in the role as to why that movie was so successful. I do think it played a significant part to it, but a lot of that just comes down to, I think maybe people are just excited to see him in the iconic yellow Wolverine suit, and they're seeing what he would do in that team up with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. And it really worked out for them. Now, could they sustain themselves for another 3 movies with that same duo? I don't know. I think the first one would probably be the best one right there. And I think you'll start seeing diminishing returns with each subsequent movie if they were just kind of doing the same thing with having the two of them kind of doing a buddy superhero type movie. But I could be wrong on that one. I mean, I personally would like to see more of that, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be the $1.3 billion juggernaut that Marvel would probably be hoping for, unless something different was done with it in order to try to reignite interest. Because even though a lot of people like the first one, and just doing more of that probably could work out for them, you still need to have something else there that drives audiences. What it is, I don't know. I think it'd probably be better suited to try to add more X-Men into the mix, whether they have to try to bring back some of the people who've previously done it in the Fox movies, or recasting the roles. I think that'd probably be the preferable option at this point right here. But keep Hugh Jackman as almost like a type of glue to hold things together that kind of bridges that gap between the Fox X-Men and now the future Marvel Studios X-Men. Jackman, 56, continues to defy expectations, looking and performing as if he's a decade younger. His enthusiasm for joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe seems boundless, with whispers of projects like Hulk versus Wolverine. Now, I think that would actually be pretty cool. They teased it a little bit in Deadpool and Wolverine. I was hoping there would actually be somewhat of a fight scene, or at least a little bit more than what we got. A Hulk versus Wolverine, I think that would be something that would drive out audiences to see that. And a possible appearance in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. These tantalizing prospects could bring in billions more at the box office, while allowing Hugh Jackman to put his definitive stamp on Wolverine as the MCU introduces more mutant characters. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige addressed the possibility of recasting Wolverine in the future during an interview last summer. While Feige acknowledged that the character will eventually see a new actor in the role, he emphasized the challenge of replacing Jackman's iconic portrayal. And this is what Kevin Feige was quoted as saying about that. If somebody were to attempt to do a Hugh Jackman as Wolverine impression, that would be a pretty big mistake, Feige said. In the decades to come, I think it's inevitable that the actor will be that the character will be reinterpreted. If that happens, it would have to be a very different and bold reinterpretation. Now, a lot of people started buzzing after Henry Cavill appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine in his cameo as Wolverine. And a lot of people like the idea that Henry Cavill will take over the mantle of Wolverine in the MCU. He could probably do a different kind of interpretation of it. It won't just be necessarily the Hugh Jackman version of it. From what we saw, at least a lot of people, I think, liked it. I liked seeing Henry Cavill in the role, and I think he would be a suitable replacement. And a lot of people also thought that that's kind of what they were leaning on to. That's why they put him in the role. We don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, because they were making money with Hugh Jackman, so they want to continue with that. But I do think it makes sense, though, that eventually, yes, you would have to have someone do it, because despite what he says in the movie, Hugh Jackman can't be doing this until he's 90, unless they really are going to do like an old man Logan type thing with Hugh Jackman in the role of that. But it's just a matter of when they're going to eventually get around to recasting the role and who's going to play the part. Like I said, a lot of people like Henry Cavill in the role. Other people were talking about this last summer when Kevin Feige made those remarks right here. MCU fans who should play the new Wolverine, and it's not Henry Cavill. This article from Dexerto, I remember talking about it about the time frame that it was first made, and a lot of people were saying Daphne Keane should be taking over the role of Wolverine, since she does kind of have that tie-in from the previous ones. X-23 has kind of become Wolverine in the comics, albeit not ones that are very successful. Now, I like Daphne Keane as X-23, and I thought she did a good job in Logan. I thought she did a good job in Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't want her to see her become Wolverine in that one, and I think Marvel wouldn't really want to go down that path, because we've seen what happens when they're trying to, at least it gives the impression of them just trying to like push for more DEI and other things like that by replacing a traditional male character with a female character, even though you can find some justification in the comic books for that. This is something I think Marvel is going to try to steer away from in the future, because they've seen that that's not profitable. And I think most people aren't really interested in seeing her become Wolverine in the MCU. I think more people are interested in seeing someone else play Wolverine. And if they want to keep Daphne Keane as X-23, then I'm fine with that, and I would actually like to see more of her in the MCU. But right now, I'm not really sure how I feel about keeping Hugh Jackman around. Like I said, seeing him in a Wolverine versus Hulk movie would be pretty cool. Not sure if you would necessarily need Hugh Jackman for that. If they had a Henry Cavill one for that, then I think that'd be kind of interesting. But I don't know. I mean, it's just a matter of execution, I suppose. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you think that they are going to keep him around and have him do supposed 10-year deal? Or do you think it would be better off just to kind of recast him at this point? Let me know in the comment section. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.